Hi, everybody. I'm Richard Shelp with Executive Speakers Bureau, and today I have the honor and privilege of bringing in to you guys one of our favorite clients, and I'm going to introduce her in just a second, but today we're going to get to talk with her about what she's done in general in the events business, as well as her involvement with Executive Speakers Bureau. And today I'm excited to introduce to you guys Kim Cleary. Kim is currently the Director of Training and Events at McKesson, and I have had the privilege of working with her for a long, long time. Kim, welcome today.
Thanks, Richard. I'm delighted to be here and to talk about my experience with ESB.
That is awesome. That's awesome. So let's jump right in and tell me a little bit about your position, your role at McKesson.
Sure. I am technically Director of Training and Events. And during the pandemic, my role really morphed into a very virtual reality. So I was asked by our leadership team during the pandemic to create a place or a way for our employees to stay engaged and connected to each other when they were working remotely. So one of the first thoughts when I was putting this plan together was it'd be really cool to have some amazing speakers come in, and provide educational content. In particular, at the beginning of the pandemic, some messaging around resiliency and coping with maybe isolation. And I immediately reached out to you because I'd worked with you before. And my speaker was a hit then. So I figured you'd probably produce some more hits for me in the future. So
that is terrific. And let me tell you, the way you've put on these events, you've done a great job. All the speakers that have worked with you have felt like that they were in such a professional environment. And I think all that's credit to you and how you put it all together. Well, so when you are looking for a speaker, so you mentioned all the speakers that you guys have done in the past couple of years, done many with us, but when you're looking for a speaker, what do you look for specifically in that speaker? What you mentioned a little bit about resilience, but what kind of topics are you searching for? And what type of person or personality or style are you looking for?
So one of the things that I think is very important, and we understood coming out of the gate, was that we have a very diverse employee population, diverse interests, and I wanted to be able to find diverse enough content to appeal to many different types of people. So every speaker may not resonate with every single person, but again, we're talking about a lot. We're talking about thousands of people. Right. So it was important for me to be able to incorporate speakers that certainly addressed current issues in society that are important, but also provide colorful storytelling, high energy. And I think you and I have talked before, Richard, about, and you've come to know over, I think we've hired 30 speakers.
Yeah, at least.
We've brought in about 30 speakers, 3 guys, and you've really gotten to know and understand, I think, our employee base, and what resonates well. And I have to say that every speaker has hit the mark based on feedback that I've gotten. So having a diverse amount of content, diverse messaging to appeal to diverse people, but also to have that storytelling ability. And I think you and I have also talked about this before, the ability to paint those pictures through meaningful stories and to provide actionable takeaways. So to take something from those speakers' experiences and being able to apply that in their own lives has gone over amazingly well.
I think, and I couldn't agree with you more that storytelling is such a core thing. People learn so much better with storytelling than they do otherwise. I love to go back to one of the other things that you said too, is that you guys have used such a diverse group of speakers. So from, people with Hispanic backgrounds, indigenous, LGBTQ, you guys have used all types of speakers, but all have that storytelling quality, which which seems to be so fantastic. Well, what has been our main involvement in your search? What have you looked for Executive Speakers Bureau to do as you're finding these great speakers?
Well, I think it's really been a great collaborative effort, with some digging around and research online, and then talking to you and your recommendations. But also the ability to be able to provide the right speaker at the right time. Again, we're talking about relevance, timeliness, but also on budget. And you guys have done a great job doing that too. So I would have to say you've hit all the marks.
That's awesome. We love it when we hit all the marks, and it can be challenging at times, because I know you love the TED Talks when you're doing your research, and sometimes those TED Talks, people, cost a lot of money. But the good news is you and I have been able to work together within your budget to really figure things out. Yep. So you mentioned how much you like the speakers. Can you tell me a couple of those speakers that in particular were your favorites that you've had?
And I knew this question was going to be coming. I knew it, but it doesn't make it any easier to answer because there's so many. I have fallen in love with so many of the speakers.
Oh, yeah.
They all have such special qualities. I mean, in each one of them, I'd have to speak to the overarching, I think, theme that I've taken away from all of them collectively has been the professionalism, the dedication, the interest in getting to know and understand our organization and the audience, right? Understanding our mission, our purpose, our business, our guiding principles, and then being able to weave that into an already meaningful story, I think really goes a long way as well. And that's been in my experience pretty much across the board with every speaker we've had. So, I mean, I've had speakers that, thank goodness I wasn't on camera at the time, but have brought tears to my eyes. I've had speakers that have made me laugh almost out of my seat, for sure. Pure entertainment value, which we all need to sometimes. Gosh, I couldn't pick just one.
I know it's tough.
Even three or four.
I do know that you like Catherine Childers a lot. I know I
actually adore her. Okay, in full transparency, hopefully I won't get in trouble for this. I am not a stalker, but I did talk to her afterward, and I said, would you be interested? Would you possibly mentor me? That's how much I was impressed with her. Like, she is just the coolest person. And she goes, if you ever have a question about anything, ever want to talk about anything, call me. I mean, she was outstanding. She one of the first female Secret Service agents, and I think the audience fell in love with her too, because I received overwhelming response after that session. So we brought her in for Women's Heritage Month. We do a lot of collaboration with our employee resource groups, and so that was like a co-host situation with our Women Empowered ERG, and it was probably, I would have to say, one of the most highly attended sessions that we've hosted to date.
Well, I got to tell you, which is so great. A person like her is such a great example for women everywhere, because she was such a trailblazer. So what a great mentor for you to have.
Oh, and she was funny. I mean, she protected the Onassis children, but she was so approachable and down to earth, and again, hilarious too at the same time. So
I love it. Absolutely love it. I love it. So let me transition real quick from those wonderful speakers to Executive Speakers Bureau. So overall, in working with executive speakers, what have been the most positive things that you could say about our organization?
You're super supportive. I know that you've got my back. I trust that you do. I like I said, we haven't missed the mark. Knock on wood. I think we've worked together for more than 30 speakers at this point, and they've all been just perfect, on par. And that makes me very happy, because it makes everyone around me happy. I trust in you guys. You are definitely dedicated to your clients, but both your clients, the speakers that you represent, but also the organizations that you're bringing them into. And I've never felt, more comfortable working with an organization. This is my personal perspective. You guys have become, I guess we've been together 3 years now. You're almost like family, to be honest with you.
I would agree. The feeling is very mutual, no doubt. Very mutual. Well, so now the last and toughest question, on a scale of 1 to 10, where would you put executive speakers? And that's with 1 being lowest, 10 being highest.
I would say a solid 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
Awesome.
Again, because, I trust you. I trust in that you have our best interest or my best interest. And you understand us as clients and as people and what we're looking for. So, yep.
That is absolutely fabulous. Kim, it is always a pleasure. We thank you so much for your input, which was fantastic. And we love having the opportunity to talk to you today about this. And I personally look forward to working with you for many years to come. Thank you so much.
Me too. Thanks so much, Richard.